This conflict goes back to my high school days. During senior year, I was soccer captain, and then there was also another soccer captain, so there was two of us. I was more of a person-focused leader, and then my co-captain was more of a task orientation leader. So I think that was the main problem between how we led the team. I was more of a nurturer, and she was more of a let's get things done. This is the way we do it, and that kind of conflicted with me because I don't like being micromanaged and told what to do but just by even her as my co-captain, or just by anyone in general, it kind of bugs me a lot. So I think that was a big conflict. And then on her side, I think it was a big conflict because I would kind of rebel or not listen to what she wanted me to do, and her as a task-orientated leader, that kind of bugged her as well. So overall, it affected the situation because since I wouldn't really listen to her and she wouldn't really listen to me because we were both captains and we both had a different purpose. So I was more person focused and she was task focused. So it was really hard to compromise with each other. It was really hard to meet the middle ground or just try to get stuff done because, like I said before, I would kind of rebel and she would rebel as well. Even though I am a person-focused leader style and then she was task-orientated, I was more of for my conflict style, I was more of a collaborator. But it's kind of hard because I'm in the middle between collaborator and compromiser. But she was just mostly competition. So I would say that I'm more collaborator and compromiser when it comes to different situations. In this specific case, it was kind of hard to collab with her because she wanted things done her way and her way only. So I think I scooted more to the compromiser, and that's only because my coach told me to. As I mentioned, the conflict wasn't really solved. It was just more of a keep the tension low. But the way my coach tried to solve everything was have us two captains talk it out. And that talk didn't really do much in my opinion, because I remember when I was going through this talk and I was just hearing her, to be completely honest, the words went through my ear and then went out the other. So I'm pretty sure my words did the same thing for her. I guess it was just stubbornness was definitely in the way of that in my part and her part, and just basically what we wanted to get done. I was more focused on the team and then she was more focused on the results. Like I said, it wasn't effective, honestly. It was, to the coach, it might have seemed effective because there was no problems or any comments or petty comments after the talk. However, it wasn't really effective because the tension was still there. It's still there now. Even though the season ended, I'm still going to be a person-focused leader, and she was still going to be a task-oriented leader. She's still a very high competitor, and I'm still more of a compromiser and collaborator, depending on the situation. So, like I said, it wasn't effective at all. I think a person who is more task-oriented and a competitor in the conflict style, it's kind of hard for them to compromise with others, and it's hard for them to adapt. But yeah, overall, the situation wasn't really effective, and the communication wasn't really there. Back then, I had no idea about this communication stuff. I didn't know about the conflict styles. But now that I know how she is as a person and like conflict styles and how I am, I really think that a good way that we could have communicated through was either if I adapted to what she wanted to, or if she adapted to mine. But like I said before, it's kind of hard for her to adapt to my needs because she's a competitor and she's more task-oriented, and she wasn't going to look really into what I needed as a person since she's not really person-focused. But yeah, like I said, I could have adapted to her, but I think I was really stubborn as a communicator and as a captain to do so. But then I look back, I could have easily adapted to it. Maybe if I would have adapted to her, she would have started listening to my needs or anything like that, honestly.